Jesus didn't have a problem with people that's in the streets. He had a problem with religious people.
How can I help anybody when when I was not even able to help my own son?
I would never do that. I would never do that. And I became that in a matter of minutes when they took my pain pills away.
And I said, I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not what I used to be.
This is Faith in Your Recovery. I am Randy Davis. Welcome to the battle. Hey, greetings and welcome to Faith in Your Recovery. This start today is going to be a little different than most episodes. We're waiting our guest, Sam Phillips, understand the connection we're making with Sam. He is in East Africa at this time. It's certainly going to be a remote because I didn't have the funds to go there for the interview. However, I would have loved that. But we're looking forward to his arrival and all that he has to share. I've spent the last couple of weeks, not constantly, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I've spent a great deal of time researching Sam's life, his experiences, what he's had going on, the things he's got planned, and this man covers the entire mat. He's been there, he's done that, he has the scars to prove it in more ways than one. The first part of our interview with Sam is going to be about his time before ministry. Just to give you a little teaser without trying to totally please you, he spent a lot of time with the Outlaw motorcycle gang. He had his own issues with drugs, his own battles. He's been there, done that, has those scars to prove it. The second part of our interview is going to be more about his time in East Africa, his ministry there, the lives he's touched, changed, and saved, his involvement with young children. It's quite an incredible story, and that's where he gained the name that he proudly carries at this time, and he'll explain that origin, that history, how it came about, God's stamp of approval on him being called the machine gun preacher. I never dreamed of being able to interview somebody of his stature, somebody of his qualities, someone with his experience. I'm sure he's going to fill our minds and our hearts with a lot of great information. So as we await him here, just say a quick prayer that he'll be able to get online soon. We're looking forward to the privilege and opportunity. Don't forget this. The goal at this time is to make this a two-parter. We don't want to rush his story. We want to make sure we get as much to you as possible. You're welcome to get a hold of us with your questions and comments as we go. I'm sure there'll be some good ones from out there. We'd love to hear them. Get a hold of us, type them in, and we'll get to them just as quickly as possible. Eric, my sound man, my engineer, he'll take care of that with us, and we'll try to get an answer from Sam. We can ask him directly of anything that's on your mind or on your heart. I think you're in for a pretty special time here. I certainly consider Sam one of our higher, if not the highest, and I'm not sure how you measure that, but certainly a high-profile interview. Sam's had a couple of books written about his life. There's been a couple of documentaries done. One of them just recently got out. The other one was maybe like 10 years ago, a little more. But regardless, these are big-time stories about a big-time guy who's been in a lot of big-time situations with his fellow man and with God. So we're going to see how that's touched his life. the impact he's been able to have. We're looking forward to that. We just want to ask you to hang in here a little longer with us. He should be on at any time. We were scheduled for 10, but I don't know what's going on in East Africa. Understand there's 8 hours difference in our time. So as we're dealing with this morning at 10 o'clock, it's this evening at 6 o'clock for him. So we want to be able to respect his time as well and his schedule. And I'm sure it's the kind of work with all that he has his hands in that, it doesn't all run by the clock. I believe at this time he lives in Pennsylvania, but he considers East Africa home about 7 months a year. So obviously the man does a lot of traveling there with his orphanages. I think there are 6, maybe 7 that he's developed. And that all has come about because of there in the area of the Sudan back when, and maybe I should not say this in the past tense, we'll find out from Sam, but back when the warlords were so notorious for their kidnapping and the burning, the pillaging of so many villages, Sam was into the kind of work to where they went in and they saved the young gals from sex slavery and saved the young men from having to go into the military. And through his orphanages, there's been multiple lives touched and made different. Sure, it's God. It's God doing the work, but somebody's got to be his hands. Someone has to be his feet, and that's been Sam. So with what we know about him, I'm pumped to get to ask him more questions or even detailed type questions of what we do have. But it's the idea that, he can give us some insights that I don't think we're going to get through the book. I don't think we're going to get through either movie, documentary, or we're certainly going to get from any newscast. He's won several awards throughout the United States, Canada, for his work, his humanitarian work. He has even won the Mother Teresa Humanitarian Award. I'll give you more details on that later, but I don't want to divulge all our secrets at this time. He also won a major award in Canada that carried with it some notoriety and some real blessing, and who knows about how many other significant ones he's received or been a recipient of. But we can ask those kind of questions. We can get into that. I'm anxious to get into how he's looked at his own life. He carries so many labels. We'll discuss those later. I want to know which ones he thinks fits. And even as Jesus had asked, who do people say I am? I get the impression, and I may be proven wrong, but Sam is just, he's, with all those labels, some fit and some don't in his mind, but I don't think he cares. I get the impression this man has never faced the word fear with his involvement in the Outlaw motorcycle gang, his involvement there in East Africa, everything else that he's been involved with. He's got quite a varied background, not one that most of our friends have, okay? And he's undergone experiences that most of us never have or never will. Quite frankly, some of them we never want to. I can't imagine how many times his life was risked, how many times his life was on the line, how many times that people questioned, is he going to make it out of this one? Or even if he questioned that. But regardless, as we await his arrival here on our podcast, Faith in Your Recovery, We need to continue to get me back. Ready? Hey, we're back with you. Sorry about that. We're having a bit of a glitch. Sam's internet, we just found out he's been trying for 30 minutes to join us, but his internet there in East Africa, and we questioned that. We had no idea what the quality would be or, what kind of interferences we might have. But he's not able to get on at this time, so we're going to give it just a couple more minutes. And if he doesn't, we'll pull the plug on today's episode. Our apologies, certainly, but it's one of those kind of things that, he's wrestling around with. He's ready to make it happen. We want to make it happen. So Eric's conversing with Candy back at the office. We're going to see what we think is best, but we appreciate your presence here this morning. We appreciate your willingness to tune in, and we will keep you posted of what's going to be, if we're going to be able to continue forward, if we're going to have to start over at a later point. Regardless, we hope all is well, all is safe, all is sound. Everybody's healthy there in East Africa, working with Sam's team, all that they have going on. And once again, we truly apologize for this, but it's kind of out of our control, okay? So just keep a prayer going up, and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and pause it at this point, and we'll get back to you as soon as we have some news. If we're not going by another 5 minutes here, we'll just shut this down. Eric, you have something to say?
I've got Candy on the phone. She is working with his assistant. We wanted to give him until 10:30. So
perfect. We'll do that.
Yep. Put the logo up and some music, and then we'll be right back.
Okay, that's our goal. Thank you. Have a good day. Stay in the battle. Hey, folks, we're back with you. Thanks for staying around. Again, we apologize for the problem, a bit of technical difficulty, as they used to say in TV land over in East Africa. Just having problems staying on the phone, computer, I shouldn't say computer issues, internet issues. So we're going to unfortunately have to shut down today's program. We apologize. Nobody's more hurt over it than I am. I look forward to this. I'll look forward to it again. I'll come back to the top. I'm not worried about that. But I hope you'll join us when we do, because story's going to be the same. It's same Sam Childers, the same machine gun preacher, the same former member of the Outlaw motorcycle gang, one of the toughest, meanest in the United States. So we'll keep you posted. We'll let you know to the best of our abilities, but we appreciate your patience. Hope you have a great day. And above all, remember, stay in the battle. God bless. Take care. Goodbye.